of it with Camaro Rivera coming back.
Emma Perna comes up with the ball. And Gabby Hudson gets them into their offensive set. A little bit of that patented weave up top. Great backdoor look. Melton to Hudson to Domovic just off the rim. Rebounded by...
Looked like Foot got the rebound there. And Oglethorpe going to come out in a little 2-3 zone, or it actually looks like 3-2, and they're going to match up out of it, try to cause some turnovers and take away the outside shot.
Nice steal by Melton on that post feed. Did a really nice job. Played on that low side hip, came up with the steal. Hudson from about 16 off the mark. Rebound by Melton. Luckily called a jump ball. It was really close to a travel. Since the Stormy Petrels got the opening tip, possession goes to the Hawks. And Deshauna Foot out of Cedar Shoals High School, the 5'3" freshman from Athens, Georgia, bringing it up for Huntingdon.
Perna picked up a little bit there, higher up on the half court.
Nice baseline jumper by that left-hander, Sydney Parfait, out of John Curtis Christian School in New Orleans, a great football powerhouse. Great look, Perna to Domovic. That's a second layup she's missed there. Unfortunate break for Malia Melton there.
Yeah, Melton was going for the steal. The catch was made by A.B. Davis, who got a shot up as she was getting hit. Again, Melton was trying to get a steal, and unfortunately with some body contact will lead to a couple of free throws.
Really great athlete. I really look forward to seeing her development. Came from a good high school program at Hebron Christian. And I think a great pickup by Alex Ritchie with this very talented freshman recruiting class that he brought in.
Yeah, typically anytime you get somebody out of the Beaufort area, you know they're going to be well coached, they're going to be well prepared, and Malia Melton seems that way. A little 2-2-1 pressure right now by the Hawks.
Malia Melton pushing up ahead to Rivera, back to Melton. Gets it to Hudson to set things up. Great ball screen up top from Rivera. Good call. Contact there by A.B. Davis. She picks up her first foul here. Just a minute 40 into this ball game. 3-0 Hawks. Huntington leads early here. Inbound under. Gabby Hudson will get it going here on this inbounds play. Hudson goes to Melton. Emma Perna from outside the arc, in and out. Great rebound. Actually goes to a loose ball, but Hudson recovers it, drives in. Domovic with the drive. Great take. Off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Rivera and a putback. You talked about how they needed that inside presence tonight, and she comes up big with the offensive rebound.
Yeah, and a couple of chances there. Malia Melton battling for it. Obviously, Camaro Rivera coming up with the stick back, but that's what you're going to have to do. Get shots up on the glass, use your size, rebound, and try to get some turnovers to get off and running.
Off the mark by Parfait. Melton with the rebound, pushing it up the court hard. Gets it to Rivera. Left elbow, she's going to take it to the rack. No call. Now a whistle. And they're going to call Domovic on the reach-in after the offensive rebound by A.B. Davis.
Domovic going to check out of the game. Coming in, Carly Henderson again, still has that thumb wrap, but did play fairly well the other night against Agnes Scott. That one looked like Rivera just lost it as she tried to go underneath the defender and was not bailed out with a foul call.
Three-point goes up and in. Alina Shoemake knocks down a three, and Huntington up 6-2. Steal by the Hawks. Shoemake with the steal, misses the drive. They'll get the offensive rebound and reset the offense. That 1-2-2 defense from Oglethorpe. From the left corner now, the Hawks. Off the mark was A.B. Davis. Gabby Hudson with the rebound, pushing it up the court quickly. Barking out the signals. She'll enter to Melton, over to Hudson, getting it inside to Rivera. and up and in.
Big size disadvantage down there, and twice now Rivera's been able to get both scores. Right now the Hawks in a man-to-man defense, and this is one I would continue to high-low with Malia Melton, get Kamira Rivera down on the block, and see if you could go to work.
Don't forget she was the Southern Athletic Association Player of the Week last week. Had her first career double-double in a great game against Barry. Hudson pulls up, gets it to Melton. Head fake. Said she took a step before she put it down. That's one of the things we've seen with the officiating with Hudson and Melton. Great athletes with really explosive first steps. Sometimes the officials see it as a travel when it's really just great burst.
Yeah, Mia Havica going to check in for the first time, as is Morgan Skipper. Skipper played really well the other night, and watching her in warm-ups, just a knockdown jump shooter. Grabs a rebound on her first time. Now going to bring the break down.
Havica with the ball, gets it back up to Skipper, who Perna demands the ball to set the offense. Again, this time Henderson looking inside to Rivera. Skipper gets out of there, looking high-low to Rivera.
5 on the shot clock.
We're going to call a foul there on that take. Late in the clock. Couldn't get it inside. Nice D there by Rivera. Emma Perna gets fouled on the drive. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, got to give Alina Shoemake a lot of credit down there, battling with Rivera, fronting sometimes down on the block, not allowing an easy entry pass. Oglethorpe may have been bailed out a little bit there on a late shot clock foul call, but we'll take some home cooking. Right now, Emma Perna knocks in the first free throw, hits the second one, and ties it up at 6.
Yeah, Perna, a great free throw shooter, came into the game shooting 79%. That'll tick her above 80% now. Shoemake from the left wing. She hit a 3 earlier. This one's in and out. Skipper with the rebound, gets it to Perna. Carly Henderson holds it up. Perna barks out a play. Looking to the high post to Skipper. Going to go down low to Rivera, and it is good. Easy lay-in, great post play, and they have ridden Rivera's inside scoring to an 8-6 lead here. 4:45 left in the first quarter. Lost out of bounds by the Hawks. Kinston Davis, We're going to have a media timeout here. And a good start. They've looked to get the ball inside to Rivera. We talked about the fact Ellie Ronan, the 6'2 sophomore forward out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Addie Atkinson, the 6'2 sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale Westminster Academy. Both post players out with injuries. And so Rivera is the lone post in there, the 6'1 freshman out of Canton, Georgia, and Cherokee County High School, doing a great job here early in her college career.
Yeah, we having some technical difficulties with stats right now, so nothing stat-wise, but best thing that we have right now is the Stormy Petrels on a 5-0 run to take the lead after, actually it's a 6-0 run after being down 6-2 to start the game, and Kamira Rivera is going to be a problem. I'd be interested to see if Huntingdon eventually does not go to a zone, if they feel they have trouble matching up down low, because when she gets the ball on the block, it's literally turn and lay in without a bunch of resistance as of right now.
Well, they did just Huntington substitute in Brianna Magruder, who's 5'10", gives them a little bit more size. Earlier you talked about how Shoemake was battling with Rivera. Shoemake's 5'5".
Right. You also had Parfait battling with her as well. Havica getting trapped and is going to call for a travel over here on the sideline. Tough pass she tried to catch and kind of tightrope the sideline, and unfortunately they called the travel.
Yeah, tough call. That pass to the wing left her dancing on the sideline, and she couldn't hold her balance and called for the travel. A great look inside. They get it to Magruder inside, but she travels on the turnaround. Really nice post feed by Alina Shoemake. Shoemake getting it done early here on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, Charity Clouden played really well the other night, probably earned herself more rotation time for Coach Shirley. which is nice to see. She looked under control, really good basketball IQ, knocking down jump shots, and now coming in to run a little bit of point guard here at the top of the key.
Henderson gets it inside to Melton. Power missed. Offensive rebound blocked by Magruder. Some good toughness and athleticism inside there by Melton. She just couldn't convert.
Oglethorpe right now staying in a 2-3. Skipper, oh, what a block coming over from the weak side to get that one out of there.
Yeah, Magruder, the left-hander, turned over her right shoulder. Skipper was right there to steal it. Stolen by the Hawks, and in and out on the layup. Missed by Kinston Davis. Foul called is going to go against Lena Shoemake. It'll be Stormy Petra ball. 3:31 left here in the first quarter. Got some subs coming in. Looks like Lauren Lynn checking in for the Hawks. Gabby Hudson, Kamara Rivera checking back in.
There's Domovich as well.
Checking back in for the Stormy Petrels. 2-2-1 pressure from the Hawks. Melton enters to Havica, to Hudson, swinging the ball to Melton. The Hawks are really doing a nice job getting that trap at the timeline right in front of the Hawks bench.
They had 4 women around Domovich right then, and lucky for Oglethorpe, that ball went off a foot and they retained possession.
Entry to Dolmovich. Rivera has it in the high post. Magruder is challenged and grabs onto her, so the hold and the foul call against Magruder.
They did a little flip-flop there, went high-low with Rivera at the free throw line, and they put Melton down on the block. Melton right now has the size advantage down low.
They are going to call Rivera there for the moving screen. You've got to get set, and then on the roll, you can't impede the defender. It looked like that might have been what they called. I agree with you. Nice little look there. Melton is so tough inside. The lob inside to Magruder by Shoemake goes off of Magruder's hands and out of bounds. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Oglethorpe up 8-6. Emma Perna checks back in. So now you've got Perna and Hudson on the floor. 2 point guards against this 2-2-1. Perna finds Melton, who finds Domovich. Great fake by Rivera. They're going to call the foul on the floor. Unfortunately, it looked like Kinston Davis might have injured her knee on that one.
Yeah, she landed a little bit funny underneath the basket right now, kind of writhing in pain. Coach runs over there to take a look at her, and she's grabbing that right knee. So we'll wait for a second to see if she's going to be okay. Is she going to be able to get up?
Yeah, it was one of those like we saw Kyler Murray the other night in the game. No contact. Just kind of an explosive movement. Good to see her get up and walk without a limp. So that's good. Kinston Davis looks like she might be okay.
Sometimes those are the hyperextended that the mind tells you you're hurt worse than you actually are, but scary anytime you have the non-contact scenario because you can get up and walk, and then later on it ends up not being well. So let's hope Kinston Davis is okay. Again, a 5'7" sophomore out of Mobile, Alabama.
So Rivera will toe the charity stripe, shooting 79% on the year. Got that one with the roll. Actually, 72% from the charity stripe, 48% from the floor. Really great-looking freshman player. Oglethorpe up 10-6 here. The Hawks push it up the floor. Lauren Lynn running the point now for Huntingdon.
Good pressure there by Emma Perna, but a great find underneath for Magruder. They were able to get the defense moving side to side. She pins Kamara Rivera and gets the lay-in. Right back on the other end. Great press break. Malia Melton goes cross-court, finds Rivera for a lay-in, 12-8 Stormy Petrels.
Yeah, one way to get a team out of the press is get layups, and that's what they're doing right now. During that little brief timeout for the injury, Alex Ritchie drew a press break, and they ran it to perfection there. Shoemake going inside to the left hand of Magruder. She has to kick it out. Lauren Lynn from 3. Magruder muscles for the O board. Shoemake skips, but this one's stolen by Domovich. She's going to take it all the way in, dish it to Hudson. Hudson lays it in. That's how you run a 2-on-1 break. Draw the defender, kick it to the backside guy who lays it in unimpeded.
And that's one that you think it's a given, but that is something that a lot of times now you don't see teammates do, run the 2-on-1. Now let's go the other way. Gabby Hudson gives it off, and a lay-in right there for Emma Perna. And you're off and running right now if you're Oglethorpe. A couple of turnovers leading to points. 1:27 here to go in the first period. Stormy Petrel's up 16-8 over the Huntingdon Hawks.
John, we said this about the other night, and especially with this team, more of a guard-dominated team, especially tonight with only Rivera really at the post spot. You've got to use your athleticism and your quickness and your defense to create offensive opportunities and score in transition, and we've seen that here. Again, this ball game started out 6-2 Hawks, so it is a 14-2 run here with 1:27 left in the first quarter. They're going to come right back out into their 2-2-1 press with Hudson and Perna up front, 2 really good defensive guards. Now they're going to face guard a little bit. And again, now Shoemake dishes to Magruder, and to each his own. The Hawks now do a nice job of breaking the press.
And the problem with that one is you allow them to have that skip pass to basically get a 2-on-1 break.
Yep, really good skip pass by Shoemake.
Number 1 checking in Erica Rodriguez for the first time for the Hawks. She comes in at guard. They drop back, if you notice there, Huntingdon bailed out of their pressure a little bit more, giving up a couple of layups. I think they said, we're going to get back and try to play some more sound defense.
Yeah, nice touch lob pass by Emma Perna into Rivera. All Magruder could do was foul Rivera, so Rivera goes back to the free throw line now.
Charity Shaw, number 25, checking in. 5'6" freshman out of Birmingham.
So again, the change in the women's game, different from the men's game. Each quarter, the 5th foul draws 2 shots. No longer have the 1-and-1 in the women's game. 17-10, Oglethorpe leads. The Hawks bring it up the floor. Emma Perna again with a deflection and turnover. So the Hawks could not come up with it. Deshauna Foote trying to pick up the loose ball. It goes out of bounds. Once again, Emma Perna's defense makes the difference. Charity Cloud checks in for the Stormy Petrels for Gabby Hudson. And we've got...
Is that Kinston Davis just
Yep.
came back in? Good to see her back on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perna has been a bulldog up top, playing defense.
Great lob inside, Domovich to Rivera. And right there, great recognition. Charity Shaw, a 5'6" player, was trying to defend the 6'1" Rivera. Good call by the official there. That will probably go on the NCAA tape on this is what a displaced post player looks like.
Well, and you hate it for Kamira Rivera. I believe that's foul number 2 for her, so she's going to have to sit for a little while. Malia Melton, I'm not sure if Malia was about to check in for Kamira anyway, but now she's going to have to go play the post. Morgan Skipper in at one of the forward positions as well.
That shot well off the mark, but the Charity Shaw comes up with the rebound. Domovich comes up a little gimpy. That does not look good with the number of injuries that Oglethorpe has had. 15 seconds on the clock here at the end of the first quarter. They're setting for a final shot. Melton puts it up off the mark, knocked out of bounds, but the horn sounds. So at the end of one quarter, Oglethorpe 19, Huntingdon 10. John, we've seen some of the things we expected. Defense creating scoring opportunities and a dominant offensive post player in Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera coming in, 13 points so far in the first period. We just got our stats and research up and running. She comes in with 13 points to lead the way. Emma Perna with 4. Over on the other side, Alina Shoemake, she has 4. Sydney Parfait with an early 3 ball has 3 as well. Just really good to see. Now, Rivera, they have her officially listed as 3 fouls here on the stat sheet. That's not good because Kamara Rivera with 3, you'd have to assume, Roy, you're not going to see her the remainder of the first half if that is the correct number of fouls for her. You're probably not going to see her come back in there. But just a really good job. Malia Melton with 4 rebounds as well to pace the way for Oglethorpe, battling back from an early 6-2 deficit, shoot 46.7% in the first period, out free throw Huntington 6-2. They make 5, Huntington only makes 1, and that's part of the reason they're leading.
Yeah, Rivera, that really does hurt them. We're awaiting our first stat box of the night.
There we go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And, yeah, they're showing her with 3 of the 5 team fouls. That really hurts.
How about a 19-10 lead and you've only taken 1 3 and made none? Far cry from the other night when Oglethorpe was letting 3s fly. Just as we say that, they let one go.
Well, again, when you've got that post presence, you don't need to take the shots from outside the arc. Right there, Morgan Skipper uses her athleticism to get into the paint and finishes it. So that could be a great look with her and Melton now playing down low for the Stormy Petrels.
I'm going to tell you, I was watching Morgan warm up, and she's got shots from everywhere.
3-point shot well off the mark, 2 offensive rebounds, and finally a foul call. See who this goes against.
Looks like it's going to be on,
I think it's going to go against
Charity Cloud. I think they put up 1. Havica going to check in.
Perna's going to come out of the ball game. Charity Cloud will play the point guard here. Is Havica, did she have a knee brace on or a knee sleeve the other night, or is that new?
Don't remember. I don't remember seeing her with one.
Yeah. I tell you, this team, folks, have really battled injury and illness. 7 players didn't dress the other night. Actually 8 because Rivera was sick. And only 9 dressed, all 9 scored. Melton on the take, great strong take, misses the layup. Huntington comes up with it and pushes it up the floor hard. Foot pushed it hard, go inside to Charity Shaw. Shaw is off the mark. Morgan Skipper with the rebound. The Hawks defense forces a bad outlet pass by Skipper. Again, you just got to settle. Right now they've got a junior and 3 freshmen and a sophomore on the floor. Oglethorpe does. Shot off. Henderson gets it to Melton. Melton pushes it up the floor. She's going to go cross court to Havica. Skipper from outside the arc, and it is good. She has struggled in her early here in her career. She came into the game 0 for 5. That's her first 3. But, John, as you pointed out the other night, the top 3-point shooter, I believe, in the state last year.
Yeah, she's a young lady who can knock down 3s all the time. Like I said, in warm-up, she was hitting from everywhere. That was a rhythm 3. That's a catch off the hockey assist. Wide open in rhythm, knocks down a 3. On the other end, they give up a layup.
Kinston Davis with that layup on the other end. 24-14 Oglethorpe. Nice backdoor cut by Havica. Carly Henderson now will take a 3 off the iron. Rebounded by the Hawks, pushed up the floor by Kinston Davis. Looks inside to Charity Shaw. Shaw going to take it to the rack, blocked by Skipper. Battling Charity Shaw. Charity Cloud comes up with it. Little ragged right now. Henderson kicks it outside. Havica for 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
And that's one you wanted to see. You've been calling for Mia Havica to get hot. Struggled a little bit the other night. First 3-point attempt tonight, pure. She was knocking them down again in warm-ups. I think maybe having some time in between games to just kind of get loose has really helped out the Oglethorpe women.
Shot off the mark for the Hawks. Skipper brings it up the floor. Cloud now kicks it back to Henderson. Henderson's going to drive. They're going to call a block on that. A good, strong take by Henderson. You do cringe a little bit when she takes contact because of that thumb. She went down hard again.
And I'm not sure if they're going to call a little movement underneath because it looked like number 34 there, Deshauna Foote, may have been set. But that did not happen. They're going to call the blocking foul and we're going to get an opportunity right here as Carly Henderson to take a couple of free throws.
Yeah, Peyton Corbett checking in for the first time for the Hawks, along with Sydney Parfait came back into the ball game. A.B. Davis is on the floor. Shoemake is on the floor. And Kinston Davis for the Hawks.
I will tell you one thing that's way better tonight is the quality of shot that Oglethorpe's getting, shooting 50% from the floor. The other night, there were times they were in the high 20s, just not taking quality shots. The offense, Coach Ritchie's got them running a much smoother set today, and they're passing up good shots to get great shots.
Well, and shooting in rhythm, too. When you talk about great shots, shooters want to shoot in rhythm, and they're going to have great success doing that. Skip pass to Shoemake. She's going to put it on the floor, take it hard. They're going to call a block. Here's what's interesting. Alex Ritchie's saying the outside official had it as a charge. The baseline official called the block. Who wins the verdict? They're going to call it as a block.
So the baseline official, I saw him say she was in the restricted area.
Okay.
So when you see that little yellow circle under there, you know. But for the people that are watching, when you're in the restricted area, you cannot get called. You cannot get that charge called.
And any part of your body or shoe that's touching that restricted area, and that could have been the case. Thought she was outside of it, but she very possibly could have had that heel on the line. Hawks taking a second free throw. First one was good. This one's missed by Shoemake. Rebound by Hudson, who pushes it up hard. Entry pass stolen by Kinston Davis. Left-hand layup is good. 29-17. Emma Perna now will bring it up.
That was one where Gabby Hudson telegraphed the pass. She tried the one-hand baseball pass when you didn't need that one. Gabby's a really electric player, just getting used to the pace of the college game. And I think when we get to conference play, she's going to be somebody the people in the SAA have a lot of trouble with.
That foul call is going to go against Peyton Corbett. The Stormy Petrels got the ball inside to the high post to Dolmovich, and she got fouled. They'll inbound under. Touch lob into Morgan Skipper, who gets it back to Hudson. She's looking inside, can't get it there. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Perna trying to get the play set.
Well, I like the way Perna runs this team. Telling people, you go here, you go there, and then drives and dishes. Morgan Skipper with the great lay-in.
That is a great driving dish by Perna. Almost came up with a steal again there. Has Kinston Davis out of sorts up top. Peyton Corbett now reverses to Davis. Davis showing a little bit of frustration in her face there. I would too if I had Emma Perna defending me. Corbett, a runner, air ball out of bounds. Oglethorpe gets it back with 5:17 left in the first half. Malia Melton checks in for Morgan Skipper.
I'm going to tell you, just to weather the storm of Kamira Rivera being in foul trouble, give Morgan Skipper a ton of credit, playing down low, battling, and now you get Malia Melton back in, a little bit bigger body to give Oglethorpe more of an advantage down on the block.
Nice play there, reversing the ball. Dolmovich off the mark from the right corner, rebounded by Shoemake again. She's pushing it up the floor hard. Good strong take, runner off the mark. She gets her own rebound though. Put back is missed. Jump ball underneath. Both Sydney Parfait and Mia Havica with the tied up ball, and it is going to go to Huntingdon inbound under, but it's going to be the second quarter media timeout here. Oglethorpe up 31-17. We talked about Perna, John, career high 7 steals the other night. I've said I think she just personifies the scrappy floor general, and we see it on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, she, like I said, before she gets the dish to Morgan Skipper, as they were a little bit out of sorts over here on the right wing, she's barking out, get me the ball back, let's reset this offense. And then she found a crease in the defense, able to drive right down the lane, dish for Morgan Skipper for the easy lay-in. You need that. You need to have leaders on your team from time to time that when things are not going well, and she's only a sophomore out of Port Orange, Florida, you need to have that where you go, you know what, I'm going to settle the troops, get the ball back in my hands, and Emma Perna's done a great job with that.
Perna shooting 39% from the arc, 36% from the floor, and averaging a little over 1 assist a game. And most importantly for a point guard, just a little over 1 turnover per game. You like to see the ideal point guard would be about 3 to 4 assists to turnovers, but again, sophomore, trying to run the show with freshmen. Sometimes point guards have turnovers that aren't their fault,
right?
Especially with a bunch of freshmen that you're playing with. Inbound pass off Kinston Davis's hands. She's going to go to A.B. Davis, who drives off the mark. Rebounded by Dolmovich, who gets it to Hudson. Hudson pushing it hard. She's going to kick it back. Perna now on the skip. The reverse to Havica, back to Dolmovich. Perna now will take that 3. Just misses. Rebound by Melton, and they are going to get Sydney Parfait with a little bit of a push. Melton did a great job coming up with that rebound.
I got to give Havica credit coming in there to battle down low, and then Melton cleaned it up and got bumped out of bounds, and it'll be side out right now for Oglethorpe.
Hudson key in the inbound under, and they are going to get a 5-second call. Nice D by the Hawks, but
not a lot of movement out of Oglethorpe there. Too many people out on the perimeter.
Well, at some point you've got to break to the ball. Somebody's got to break to the ball. And then the other thing Alex Ritchie said to Hudson was, throw it deep. We'll run it down and have the ball in and have a chance of scoring, not a turnover. The Hawks looking. This time Peyton Corbett from the left baseline. Off the rim, no good. Alina Shoemake tries to chase it down. I guess it went off an Oglethorpe player.
I think Havica going in, trying to grab a rebound. Had the ball tip off of her. Looks like Morgan Skipper going to come back in. She'll replace Mia Havica. A little more size now. You'll go with Skipper and Malia Melton down low.
And Dolmovich is 5'8", which isn't incredibly tall, but going against Huntingdon, who's not very tall, she gives him a little bit of size at the 3 spot. A.B. Davis misses from the left corner. Another offensive rebound by the scrappy Hawks team. Hudson gets the defensive rebound, pushes it up the floor, gets it to Perna, and once again, Perna barking out the signals, getting her teammates in the right spots.
I like this. You put Gabby Hudson at the foul line to give you a de facto second point guard right there.
Malia Melton off the mark from 3. Kinston Davis again driving it in, kicks back to A.B. Davis. Kinston on the left baseline against Perna. Hawks with the catch and shot. That is in by A.B. Davis. Looked like a little bit of shuffle there, not called. Yeah, you talked, Harry Peretta, the women's coach at Villanova, made this really popular as a zone offense. He would put his point guard at the free throw line, get the ball inside the zone, just like you want a point guard to drive inside and dish. He would get it there, and that's what they're doing. Perna runs the show from the top, but if you get it inside to Hudson, she's a great penetrator and a disher. That pass out of bounds, another turnover by Oglethorpe. Hawks coming back down 12 with 2:50 left in the first half. This shot from 3 off the mark. That was the Shauna Foote. Hudson saves it, but right to Lauren Lynn. Shoemake now from the right corner off. Hudson gets the rebound. She's going to push it hard. Yeah, it's unfortunate for
A.B.
Davis who stepped in there to take it. What really happened was Lauren Lynn, her teammate streaking behind, I thought nudged Hudson a little bit. I think the foul call, if you look at the film, probably should have been against her. A.B. Davis is like, man, I was willing to take a charge. How do I get a break?
And you gotta give Hudson a little credit here because she saved the ball from going out of bounds. Coach Ritchie will probably tell her moving forward, do not throw it back into play unless you're sure it's one of us. We get a missed 3, and then she tracks down the rebound and gets a running start, and now is going to get rewarded with 2 free throws.
Cami Davis checks in for Huntingdon. She's a 5'7" freshman out of Chipley, Florida, in the Panhandle. Hudson makes her first free throw. We've talked Tuesday's broadcast. She does a great job getting to the free throw line. Those were her 46th and 47th free throw already. Anytime a player averages between 6 or 7 free throw attempts a game, you know you're getting to the line.
Yeah, there's suddenly Jimmy Butler or Dwayne Wade or Trae Young because they live there as well. And you love that for Gabby because while the field goal percentage hasn't been great, just seeing the ball, and that's a tough call. Malia Melton going to be called for, I guess, a nudge from behind.
Yeah,
did she get a little discard?
Yeah, that's a point of emphasis. The defensive displacement, and if they see a hand on the back and then an arm extension, and then in that case we saw the offensive player kind of lunge a little bit, they'll call it just because it's a point of emphasis that they've really worked to clean up. Inside the parfait to Shoemake on the left wing. She's going to go to Lauren Lynn in the left corner. It's off the mark, but a nice rebound by Deshauna Foote, and the Hawks have a new shot clock. Shoemake drives, her runner misses. Another rebound by Deshauna Foote.
But right now you have Gabby Hudson playing underneath on the zone, so lacking a little bit of size, and a couple of offensive rebound leads to a long three, cutting the lead down to 11 for Oglethorpe.
Cammie Brown, the freshman out of Chipley, doesn't get a lot of playing time, but had a nice looking shot there and buried it from outside the arc. They do get it inside to Hudson. She's going to take it from just inside the free throw line.
You'd like to see that one kick back out. There were 4 defenders around her, but Gabby going to make up for it with a knockaway.
Yeah, you're right. You know, part of the key is to suck in the defense there and then kick it out. Took a very quick contested shot with 2 defenders on her. Inbound under back to Cammie Brown is going to take another three. This misses. It's loose on the floor, still loose. Sydney Parfait comes up with it for Huntingdon. Brown will get it to Shoemake, who drives and dishes beautifully, and Deshauna Foote scores. They are really scrappy on the boards. They are not very big, but they are not afraid to get their nose in there on the offensive glass.
Well, with Melton not in the game and Rivera not in the game, the size displacement not really the same. Part of that has to do with fouls going on right now for Oglethorpe. Rivera has had 3 fouls and Malia Melton has 2. So you probably don't want to. You're probably not going to see either one of them. You're not going to see them for the last 35 seconds here in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Charity Cloud going to have to rush.
Off the mark, rebounded by Hawks. They're going to push it up. Shot clock on the game clock right at about 29 each. Lauren Lynn is going to walk on that. She got really excited that she was going to explode to the glass for a layup, but she didn't put it on the floor. Emma Perna rolls Domovich checking back in for Charity Cloud and Gabby Hudson. 24.3. Alex Ritchie's team will probably hold this for a last shot of the half.
And if you've noticed, Huntingdon has stayed out of the press now basically for the entire second period.
Yeah, Oglethorpe was getting some easy looks. They've got that zone going, but they are still flying around. Good hard take by Henderson, misses on the drive, a lot of contact, no call. Shoemake, no look pass to Sydney Parfait, and the Huntingdon Hawks have cut this to a 7-point ball game. I think he would have, but she's in there. She does officially have 2 fouls now. So Huntingdon opens up in their own 1-2-2, and Oglethorpe is in a traditional high-low, although they've got Gabby Hudson now in the high post. She's going to get the ball, take it in, drive it in, lay it in. Nice and easy. And
that's exactly what you want out of having her at the free throw line. They kind of spaced out, did Huntingdon, gave her a natural driving lane, and she took advantage of it.
Kinston Davis with the drive and the miss. Rebound by Hudson. Brings it up the floor, going to dish it off to Perna to set the table. Perna's pass. Kinston Davis called for the foul on the entry to Rolls Domovich.
And that's number 3 on Kinston Davis. They're going to have to do an immediate substitution. Coming in right now, going to be number 11, Lauren Lynn, checking in for Kinston Davis.
Yep, Paige Huff making a quick sub there. That hurts because Kinston Davis brings them a lot of good play. So they have their own little foul trouble there. All right, Malia Melton now in the high post. Again, traditional high-low cutting with Melton and Rivera. Rivera in the short corner is going to skip it, Perna on the drive from the right wing is off the mark, rebounded by Lauren Lynn, who pushes it aggressively up the floor. Kicks it outside to Shoemake. Shoemake drives, loses control, picked up by Oglethorpe. Hudson with the ball brings it up, kicks it outside to Perna for three on the left side, no good. And it is going to go out of bounds on the miss.
To play coach for 1 second. Good shot by Emma Perna, but Coach Ritchie is going, follow your shot. That ball came off and then just lingered on the baseline. If she follows her shot, she may have a layup on the other end.
Exactly. Young players watching. Follow your shot. Nice high-low game. Sydney Parfait, though, with a miss on the layup. Perna will bring it up the floor. Again, Melton and Rivera in the high-low game. Hudson on the right wing now. Domovich goes high to Rivera, gets fouled from the backside. Deshauna Foote hit her from behind, knocked her down. It is a good foul call. 35-26, Oglethorpe up just outside the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter. Hudson triggering the inbound play. Some contact there. Deshauna Foote picks up her second foul really, really quick. Second in a row, and that is her third. So now she and Kitten Davis have three apiece.
Yeah, I've noticed Huntingdon a lot more aggressive trying to play the passing lane, trying to come up with steals and get easy basket. It's led to a couple of fouls, though.
Gabby Hudson gets it inside, high post Rivera. Rivera from 13 off the iron. There, Emma Perna hustles in for the rebound. Now we'll see who the foul calls on. It's going to be on her. Did not see that at all. That
I think they called it on Perna or on Rivera.
Yeah, they did, and that is just inexplicable to me. I did not see that at all, and that is her third. Again, we had her for three in the first half is what we were told. They did correct that at halftime. Little confusion here because Alex Ritchie immediately went to the bench as Morgan Skipper was going to the table. The official inbounded the ball too quickly. There is procedural refereeing, officiating, and
yeah, they're trying to get the shot clock set as well.
Paige Schuff was like, just because the home team wanted to get the player in the game.
Said the clock never started. That's why he stopped.
The Huntingdon fans not too happy about that. Deshauna Foote brings it up.
They have
floor.
surrounded our broadcast position.
In the high post, A.B. Davis from 15, nothing but net. Cuts it 35-28, cuts the deficit to 7. Perna brings it up to settle the Stormy Petrels. Hudson way out, looks to Melton. Morgan Skipper dives, no entry. Domovich looking.
I'll tell you, this zone has given Oglethorpe some trouble, and they are going to call an offensive foul on Gabby Hudson. Player control, flying in. Parfait with a good job getting there, and it looks like Gabby's going to sub out Mia Havica coming back into the game. But that zone giving them some trouble.
Yeah, Havica checking back in, a lot better three-point shooter than Gabby Hudson. You can't just pass the ball around the outside of a zone. You've got to get inside the zone, or you've got to have a three-point shooting presence. Again, Havica brings them that, but right there, Deshauna Foote drives in, lays it in, and cuts the deficit to 5 as Huntingdon has come out of the box here in the third with the same kind of aggressiveness. Havica from the right corner, nothing but net.
And that was a great, got the ball to the foul line. Malia Melton looks corner, Havica wide open, in rhythm, able to knock that one in.
Good defense by Havica, but Parfait knocks it down over Havica's defense.
I'll tell you, Parfait's got a nice little lefty jumper from that foul line. They're going to go right back to the same look, and unfortunately Malia Melton going a little too fast. Thought she had drawn the defender to Mia Havica over in the corner, tried to drive past him, unfortunately travels.
Freshman mistake. You want to go. You're so anxious to go. All right, Foote will bring it up the floor. Parfait posting up against Skipper inside. A.B. Davis looking for the ball, but Alina Shoemake makes a beautiful no-look pass to Lauren Lynn, who lays it in, and we've got a 4-point ball game now. Perna with the dribble entry. Skips to Dolmovich. Left corner to Havica. Melton up top looking now. Kicks it back to Perna. Perna with a good strong take. Dolmovich from the left wing off the mark. Rebounded by Shoemake. Unfortunate. Lauren Lynn was not looking, and Foot entered to that right wing, threw it out of bounds. A big break there for Oglethorpe.
Cloud and Henderson check in the backcourt. Parna and Dolmovich out. Rose not having her typical shooting night right now, coming up just short on a couple of threes.
Cloud running the point with Havica and Henderson on the wing. Havica with the ball. That's it, get into the gap. And she knocks it down. You talked about her performance Tuesday night. Showing right here in the third quarter. Oglethorpe needed that.
Yeah, it was a huge basket to stem a run, push the lead back to 6.
Deshauna Foot from the left corner, no good. Henderson's going to get the rebound. Cloud's going to push it. Kicks it ahead to Havica. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Melton skips now. Henderson from the left corner, and the official said she was stepping on the left sideline. So Oglethorpe leads 40-34, 5:04 left in the third quarter.
It's been a game of runs so far, and Oglethorpe needs to get back. And you wonder, is Coach Ritchie maybe going to employ a little more pressure here, because Huntingdon has found a rhythm on offense. Just as I say that, they turn the ball over.
Havica bringing it up the floor, kicks it to the right wing to Melton. Melton with a good strong drive, gets into the paint, banks it in from 8 feet. It's 42-34.
Really good step through there. If she just raises up for a jumper, she's got Parfait probably there to block the shot. She does a little step through, uses glass, and able to put that one in.
Well, what both teams are finding on the offensive end is when you get inside a zone, good things happen. We just saw it right there. We saw a minute ago where a cross-court pass from inside the zone resulted in a layup, and then as you said on our offensive end, the Havica 3 came as a result of getting it inside to Melton in the high post, who could take a dribble or face up, draw the defense in, and then kick out.
And you see in the AAU circuit or in the high school circuit, a lot of teams will play zone. It's easier to teach. It's easier to hide maybe an inadequate defender in man-to-man. But I found a lot of and not just at this level, but everywhere, people have trouble understanding where the soft spots in the zone are. And I call it the Steph Curry effect. Too many people want to think they can just shoot their way out of a zone. And there aren't a lot of people that can shoot the ball like Steph Curry, but too many people think they can. Huntington's done a great job, and Oglethorpe both have done a great job finding that free throw line and finding open shooters from there.
Yeah, well, the only way to shoot a team out of a zone is to make those threes.
Yep.
But to our point that we're trying to make here, Havica's 3 came as a result of getting it inside and strategically attacking the defense.
42-34, Stormy Petrels with the lead. Huntington going to take the ball out of bounds on the baseline. 4:27 here to go here in the third period.
Foot triggers it to Shoemake up top to A.B. Davis. She's going to skip past to Lauren Lynn, who puts up a 3 and buries it. Nice looking shot right there as the Hawks hit their third 3 of the ball game.
And again, the skip pass doing the same, and they come up with pressure and a steal.
Deshauna Foot, she's going to draw the foul from Charity Cloud, and I tell you, Deshauna Foot has been a difference maker here in the second half. We've seen great hustle, and she's done a really nice job. The Hawks now trying to counter with a little bit of size inside, and Brianna Magruder, the 5'10 sophomore from Decatur, will check in.
And Rivera back in as well. I have a feeling you're going to get her down on that block, not as much at the free throw line where she was when Melton was in the game.
Well, and again, with Skipper in, you can bring her out a little bit farther, even 3-point. You've got to honor that, and then you can look high-low against that zone with some pinning action by Rivera. Second free throw from Foot is no good. Rivera's going to grab the rebound. She's going to reverse it to Carly Henderson, who brings it up the floor for the Stormy Petrels. Oglethorpe up 4, just under the 4-minute mark in the third quarter. Again, Charity Cloud throws this one away. Another turnover. Deshauna Foot drives, dishes. Lauren Lynn scores, and the deficit is 2.
Alex Ritchie going to call a timeout. He immediately goes to Charity Cloud and says, just calm down. That's 2 times in a row she's tried to throw an entry pass, not with enough pace on it, got stolen, and now all of a sudden a 2-point lead for Oglethorpe, the closest this game has been since early on in the first period.
Well, you love point guards who can distribute with either hand, but both of those turnovers came as the result of a left hand, which is Charity Cloud's weak hand, entry pass. As you said, just not enough juice in there. And again, they're not valuing the basketball. That up prior to that last turnover, Oglethorpe had 13 to only 10 from Huntingdon, so now 14 turnovers for Oglethorpe against only 12 assists. And so they've got to value the basketball a little bit more. Good growth step here for a bunch of freshmen and sophomores on the floor.
Right.
You've got 4 freshmen. Havica and Hudson and Skipper and Rivera, and you have 1 sophomore in Perna on the floor. So a very young team. They do have Rivera in the high post, but she'll dive if they get the ball to the short corner to Skipper. That's where it goes. She dives. She's in the post. Skipper's going to drive, get it to Rivera. Rivera goes off the glass and in.
And really nice. Use the left hand. If she shoots right-handed, again, Parfait probably blocks that shot, uses the left, uses her body, and able to get a layup that was much needed.
Drive by A.B. Davis is off the mark, rebounded by Havica. Hudson brings it up the floor. Perna goes to the left wing. Hudson's going to look, get it to Perna. Inside to Rivera. Rivera puts it on the bounce. Tied up a little bit by Magruder, and then Rivera kicks it out to Skipper, but out of bounds.
Field goal percentage down to 44% for Oglethorpe. The shots they were getting in the first period, this zone has really perplexed them into taking shots that they don't want to take.
Huntingdon gets the ball inside the zone. Again, that they did it with Rivera inside. You just have to, as you said, so many young players don't know how to attack a zone defense. We're seeing that a little bit. Coach Ritchie directing traffic a little bit. They've got Perna in the right corner wide open. They skip it to her. Havica's way out. They've got to get in the gaps a little bit too. There you go. Nice job. Pull the defender. See, part of attacking the zone too is pulling defenders and creating open shots. 4 straight turnovers on the offensive end. A.B. Davis with the drive all the way in and lays it in, and they cut.
And Coach Ritchie not going to be happy with that. You get back on defense and allow a straight line drive right down the middle for a lay-in.
Good quick passing. Skipper misses. Havica can't come up with the offensive board on the backside. Foot gets the defensive rebound, penetrates all the way into the paint. Her runner ties it at 44.
And the exact same thing.
Exactly.
She grabs the rebound and goes 94 feet and shoots a little runner from about 3 feet. Coach Ritchie not happy. He's going to sub Delmovich in as soon as they get another dead ball.
Perna running the point. Hudson's on that left wing. See how the ball's still on the perimeter. They've got to attack gaps or pull defenders out of position. There's a good skip. Layup, no good. Rivera with the rebound. She pushes it up hard and gets fouled. Now see, what happened there was they skipped it to Hudson. It forced the low defender to come out all the way on the wing. Well, as they're closing out, Hudson now could take it hard on the drive. She missed the layup, but Rivera was right there for the offensive rebound and draws the foul.
Melton going to check in for Skipper. It looks like Henderson back in and Delmovich. So the traditional starting 5 out here for the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels, but the game is tied for the first time since 6-6. Myra Rivera's first one up and good.
Yeah, great free throw shooter, which is really important for a great post player like her. 4 for 5 now in the game. And of course, announces jinx. Lauren Lynn brings it up. Huntington's been really aggressive, and they've got the ball inside the zone to attack. There's the Magruder. Magruder with the drive from the high post.
Huntington's got their first lead since it was 6-4 all the way back in the first period.
Domovich to Perna inside to Rivera. The defender jostled the ball a little bit, and Rivera called for a travel. Rivera caught the ball high but brought it into her lap, and then as she tried to rip through, the ball was deflected a little bit and caused the travel. Deshauna Foote brings it up the floor. Huntington up 1 with 40 seconds left. Great interior passing. Right wing to high post, the down low left block, and now it's a 3-point lead for Huntington. Domovich up top. Perna looking. They've overloaded that right side. Rivera wide open from the right block. Beautiful turnaround, kisses it off the glass, and cuts Oglethorpe's deficit to 1.
And for a freshman, not in a hurry on that one. Takes the jab step, the dribble, turns around, faces, and uses the glass a la Tim Duncan.
Huntington working around. 3 seconds left. Lynn shot off the mark. Magruder gets the offensive rebound, but goes off the glass, no good. So we've got a Huntington team that's been really scrappy, and they've really made some great interior passes against the zone defense of Oglethorpe. Conversely, you have a very young Oglethorpe team that has really kept the ball on the perimeter of the zone, really not attacked it in any way, and that's been the difference there in the third quarter as the Hawks rally to take a 48-47 lead as we head into the final frame.
Well, the Hawks were efficient in the third quarter. They outscore Oglethorpe 22-14. They shoot 66.7% from the field. 10 of 15, they only took 3 threes. So that basically means you're 9 of 12, 75% inside the perimeter, and that's how you take a lead in a basketball game. They actually were out-rebounded, but what they did very well was turnover. 8 turnovers in the third period for Oglethorpe, leading to shooting 67%. Basically, this is going to be one that comes down to the wire. Some of the young ladies that are having good games, Kamira Rivera, we need her to have a great fourth period. 18 points right now, leading the way. Gabby Hudson, how about her from her point guard position? She's close to a double-double, 6.7 rebounds so far. Deshauna Foote, you talked about what she's done, and Lauren Lynn coming in off the bench with 7 points. Huntington going to start the fourth period with the ball, and it looks like a 2-3 zone right now for Oglethorpe.
Brianna Magruder drives from the top, misses, gets a offensive rebound off a deflection, and muscles it in to give the Hawks a 3-point lead.
I tell you, Magruder brings something different down low for them. She has been muscling and fighting and scratching for every rebound.
That's what you've got to do right there. Hudson gets it inside to Rivera. Even though you miss, you cannot attack a zone from 30 feet just working around the perimeter. She did a nice job getting a bounce pass into Rivera. Rivera drives and misses, and it goes off, out of bounds off of Oglethorpe. So Hawks up 3, a little over 9 minutes left in this ball game.
A little bit different defensive set. They're now having the guards sag down on Magruder.
Really great disciplined defense by Rivera there. She's got 3 fouls.
Yep.
She knows she's got to stay on the floor. She moved her feet to get in front of Magruder and stayed straight up with 2 hands.
Well, Perna and Hudson sagged off and were in the face of Magruder, not allowing her to get the easy catch.
Inside out pass is stolen by Lauren Lynn, and the Hawks come back up with the ball again. You got to value every possession at this point, especially you use the word efficiency with Huntington going 9 for 12 inside the arc in the third quarter to take the lead. Perna pushes it. Domovich for 3. Ties it up at 50. That was the confident shot from Rose Domovich.
She said the other night, every time she shoots it, she feels like it's going to go in. She was 0 for coming into that shot, no hesitation, and that's the secondary break. It's 3-on-3. You're not getting all the way on a fast break. She finds that wing spot, and that is, as a shooter, maybe the favorite shot that anybody will get. You're kind of running into it. You get a nice setup pass, a beautiful pass there by Perna, right in rhythm, and Delmovich ties this game at 50. A much-needed stem of momentum for the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels.
Yeah, and I might be wrong, but I think 2 or all 3 of the threes Tuesday night were from that same spot on that left wing. And great shooters, when they miss, they have one mindset, and that is, next one's going in, next one's coming. And you talked about how confident she stepped into that in that secondary break, and she buried it, ties it up, 8:31 left, 50 all. Huntingdon will have the ball coming down. Be interesting to see if Alex Ritchie shows a little 2-2-1. You know, you can't press if you don't make a shot, and they haven't shot the ball well in the second, third quarter. They do go back to the 2-2-1 press here.
And they have not done this since the first period. They had a couple of turnovers caused, and then they gave up a few layups, and he's pulled out of that. I think he realizes, I've got to change the rhythm of the game. Huntington's got into too much of a rhythm.
Well, and they've, without the press, they've been bringing the ball up full speed, brought it up the floor, almost get a charge there on A.B. Davis. So this, even if you're not going for a steal, it slows you down, makes you work. And where Huntington's been so good is being aggressive and pushing the pace. You can see Lauren Lynn now right there. Delmovich let her out. Magruder gets tied up by Havica. Great job by Havica to draw the jump ball, and it is going to go to Oglethorpe.
And that's one, again, you teach your post people, do not bring the ball down where guards can get involved. It's tough because you want to take that power dribble to go up. And that's what Magruder tried there. Havica, a great job coming in using the hands.
Perna trying to set up the offense to retake the lead. Again, they've got to get the ball inside the zone a little bit. There they look for the cut. Melton from the short corner. Good call. Thought she got hammered pretty good on that one. The ball was loose. Again, sometimes going to that short corner, then the opposite post will dive from the high post in an old high-low game. Inbound under. Delmovich will key the attack. They get it to Melton. Melton goes back to Delmovich, to Perna, who gets inside the zone, kicks it to Rivera. Good call. She established her right foot as her pivot foot, went to her left foot, and then came back and moved to right foot. So good call. 50 all, just under 8-minute mark. That 2-2-1 pressure, just taking a little bit of pace off the game. And there you go. So Deshauna Foote throws it out of bounds. We saw a minute ago Lauren Lynn got a little out of control trying to attack the 2-2-1, so a nice move by Alex Ritchie there.
What do you see? It's called that wear-down effect.
Yep. Havica looking inside to Rivera. There they go. They get it to her. She's going to go back out. Perna's going to get inside the zone. Delmovich now reverses. Havica thought about it. Melton gets it back inside, but her pass is knocked away. Still loose on the floor. Havica dives. Great dive. Unfortunately, Huntingdon comes up with it, and they take the loose ball and toss it ahead for a layup. 52-50. Hawks retake the lead. 7 minutes left in this ball game. Melton now on the reversal. Havica. Melton drives and is going to get called for a charge. A.B. Davis took it. Nice job. Stayed outside the restricted area. Took the charge. Melton picks it up. She'll come out. Actually, Rivera will come out, and Skipper will check in for her.
I think they're going to give Rivera a blow just for a second. Maybe add a little bit better three-point shooting with Morgan Skipper coming into the game right now, but they're going to stay with this 2-2-1 pressure.
Skipper angling ahead. Pretty good athlete. Cuts off the ball. Lauren Lynn on that right wing gets it to Magruder in the high post. Shoemake at the top. Looks underneath. Beautiful no-look pass. Deshauna Foote misses the layup and is called for the foul on the rebound. But another beautiful no-look pass and Deshauna Foote sneaking behind the zone was wide open.
Yeah, Perna was down on the back line and was screaming for help because she had an open three-point shooter and somebody underneath. Fortunate there for Oglethorpe that ball was missed.
Nice inside pass by Havica. It's a good call. The defender was in the restricted area, but Melton can't convert, so she'll go to the line for two.
Davis was in the restricted area, as you mentioned. The Huntingdon parents are not very happy. They are storming around us right now. Malia Melton, though, going to step up and try to knock in 2 free throws and tie this ball game up. Interesting when you start to look now at the fouls here in the 4th period. 3 already on Huntingdon. Melton does not get the bounce there, so you want to continue to attack and potentially get in the bonus and try to earn some points at the foul line.
Yeah, no better way to come back and take a lead than scoring with the shot with the clock stopped by knocking down free throws. Second free throw by Melton is off the iron, no good, missed them both. 52-50 Huntingdon, but it does allow Oglethorpe to show a little bit of pressure. Lynn goes to A.B. Davis, who hits Magruder for the layup, and it's 54-50 Huntingdon.
One thing Coach Ritchie's going to need to do and tell his players, when Magruder gets the ball in the post, they keep jumping and allowing her to put that dribble on the floor. Got to stop jumping.
Jump ball here, Perna's high post entry to Melton. Magruder ties her up. So 54-50, but he is able to set his press with the dead ball. Possession now switches over to Oglethorpe on the next jump ball. Shoemake in that corner, you really needed to look to trap. They reverse it, A.B. Davis from 16, off the mark. Havica with the rebound, Perna brings it up. Couple subs coming up to the table. Perna reverses. Inside to Melton. Melton goes to her left, over her left shoulder, lays it in, cuts the deficit to 2.
Much softer touchdown around the rim there for Malia Melton. Good lay-in, much needed to cut it down to 2.
Again, that pressure, Lauren Lynn's going to skip it up top to A.B. Davis, who tells her teammates settle down. Shoemake looking to find a teammate that she can get it to, tries to get it to the high post, knocked out of bounds by Havica.
3 subs, Henderson, Hudson, Rivera coming in, Parna, Domovich, Skipper all checking back out.
9 on the shot clock. We'll see if Huntingdon remembers. A.B. Davis buries a 3 from about 24 feet, and it gives Huntingdon a 5-point lead with 4:45 left in the ball game.
Just execute. Plays are there to be made.
Rivera, high post drive, draws the foul from A.B. Davis. She's going to go to the free throw line to try to cut into this deficit.
Again, these are critical free throws for Kamira Rivera. Has been really good so far this evening. But you need these. That 3 from A.B. Davis really changes the dynamic of this game, hitting one from about 28 feet up against the shot clock.
Rivera, nothing but net. Went to the free throw line there, shooting 71% on the season. Second free throw, trying to cut the lead, the Huntingdon lead to 3, and she does. Oglethorpe back into their press. A little bit more of a man-to-man action here. Lauren Lynn brings it up, throws over top the defense to Davis, to Shoemake now, who slows it down. Deshauna Foote up top. Kenton Davis on the right wing. Shoemake misses from 3, knocked out of bounds on the attempted rebound by Lauren Lynn. Oglethorpe now down 3, 4:18 left in the game, will bring it up the floor.
Hudson, interesting, you go to a freshman point guard coming down the stretch. Like the way that she's able to really drive down the lane.
Hudson thought she got hit, no call. And they're going to call a foul. Thought they were trying to tie it up. They're going to call Hudson on the foul. 3:56 left in this game. 57-54 Huntington leads. That was only the second foul on Oglethorpe this quarter. As you said, the Stormy Peaches have done a nice job here to draw fouls. Next foul, they go into the bonus for the remainder of the game. Couple subs check in. Rose Dolmovich and Emma Perna come back in. 2-2-1 press. Shoemake now reverses to Lauren Lynn. Lynn's going to kick it out to Kenton Davis. Step through, Euro step, layup. And we've seen that. They've broken the press, and then when they get towards the basket, not a lot of foot movement by Oglethorpe. Hudson gets it into Rivera, kicks it out to Melton. Melton puts it on the floor. Thought she got fouled. She did. She misses again, though. Would love to see her get some three-point plays off that.
And now all of a sudden you're getting into very critical situation with 3:30 to go, down 5. Malia Melton, who missed her previous 2, really needs to get these 2 in. Magruder checking out. She has been an absolute beast down on the block for Huntington College. Parfait going to check back in. Looks like Havica going to run to the scorer's table to come in as well.
Melton knocks that one down. Much needed. Second.
I think Havica's going to go get the shooter.
Yeah, put 4 guards on the floor here with Rivera. Melton banks it in.
I heard her call glass.
Bank is open. That's good. Good to know. And he's going to, Coach Ritchie's defense is going to fall back a little bit. They're going to go man-to-man. Yep.
I think with Magruder off the floor, they feel they can guard a lot better.
Sydney Parfait from the left baseline. It's going to get knocked out of bounds by Hudson. Man-to-man now, we'll see. Yep, looks like they're going to stay in man-to-man on the inbound under.
Do not allow a cutter to get backdoor.
Melton with a nice job on the switch, but Shoemake gets the ball, misses. Havica with the rebound, pushing it up the floor. Kick to Rivera. Rivera lays it up and in. 1-point ball game. Huntington up 1, 3 minutes left in this game. Nice job there. They're staying in their man-to-man defense. Nice job switching it up. They're switching 1 to 5 here. Rivera on the point guard.
Havica, good job there. So she switched twice.
Melton on the switch. Davis in and out. Hudson with the rebound. Can Oglethorpe take the lead?
That's the kind of shot you live with. Contested. Oh, and they're going to call the continuation. Cabby Hudson with the step through and the lay-in.
Paige Schaaf, the coach for Huntington, telling the official he watches too much NBA basketball because that foul occurred at about 12 feet. And then she took another step and put it up and in, and they gave her the continuation. So Oglethorpe takes the lead back at 60-59. Hudson, who's a good free throw shooter, gets 1 here to try to put the Stormy Peaches up 2 points with 2:35 left in the game.
And the importance of that, not only the foul, but they're now in the bonus is Oglethorpe. So every foul from now on, you will shoot free throws.
It's man-to-man defense. They're going to call Hudson with the hand check.
A little jawing going on between Hudson and number 34, Deshauna Foote. Deshauna Foote was telling her she was fouled on the play.
A little confusion here at the table. The table needs the officials to clarify, I think, the last foul at the other end where Hudson got fouled. I think they're trying to discern who that foul was called on.
I'm trying to look. Gabby Hudson only has 2, so there's no concern that she would potentially be fouled out of the game. I will say Kamara Rivera, great job in the second half playing defense without fouling. She still only has 3 fouls and has allowed her to stay in the game and be a huge post presence. Back to the 2-3 zone.
Ball kicked out to Shoemake. Her 3 is way off the mark. Rivera with a big rebound, gets it to Emma Perna. They need to just calm down. It's got a 2-point lead. Play like you have a lead. 20 on the shot clock. It'll take it under 2. They get it inside to Rivera. Rivera faces up and buries it. The mark of a great player right there. That was total confidence. Beautiful rotation on her shot. Oglethorpe goes up 4. Petroff has to take a timeout for Huntingdon.
Coach Ritchie is fired up coming off the bench. And you talked about Rivera. Called for the ball right at the foul line. Turned and faced up. No panic. Had 2 defenders on her and said, I'm taller. I'm going to rise up. And I'm going to knock down a beautiful jumper. It looked like Magruder was about to check back into the game. As soon as Brianna Magruder came out of the game, Oglethorpe has gone on a nice little run to take the lead. And I think Huntingdon realizes we've got to get her back at the game with 1:55 if we want any chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, she was doing some great things. Now, that was against the zone defense, and Alex Ritchie switched up to a man, which has proved to be effective on that. You know, Rivera stepping out there right off that left elbow, facing up and buried that jumper. For some reason reminded me of Tim Duncan.
Yep.
He loved that right there. Get the ball on that elbow, face up. The defense has to choose what you want to do to defend it. And when you fall off it, you just bury that jumper. Beautiful play by Rivera. They come back out on the floor. Oglethorpe comes out with Gabby Hudson, Emma Perna, Malia Melton, Mia Havica, and Camara Rivera. So 4 freshmen and a sophomore going against Huntingdon. As you said, Magruder checked back into the ball game to give a little bit of a post presence for Huntingdon.
It'll be interesting to see, do they sag onto Magruder and not allow her to catch the ball at the foul line? Because every time she's caught it there, and it does look like they're going to go out still in the 2-3 zone. Oh no, man to man.
It's man, it's man. Now I think they'll switch 1 to 4. Got a break, got bailed out by the whistle. One of the defenders, who do you call it on? Gabby Hudson, I think.
I'm not sure.
Their hands were in the cookie jar. Their hands were down. What he's going to do with Magruder on the floor. A minute ago, they had 5 guards on the floor, so you had to switch all the way through 1 to 5. With Magruder on the floor now, he's not switching off of her. He's just leaving Rivera on her and switching 1 to 4. Free throw by Shoemaker's off the mark. She'll shoot her second here. 4-point lead by Oglethorpe. Got to box out. Can't give them additional opportunities. Melton and Rivera down low on the box out. Rivera, interesting to see what this call is going to be.
I think they're trying to see, was there, did Davis hit her head on the floor?
Well, it's almost like they're looking for contacts or something, but Davis wears rec specs. I don't know what.
Not 100% sure what they called there, but they're going to call side out of bounds. Did they call a 30-second timeout? And we didn't see the timeout call. Either way, a great rebound by Kinston Davis, who came from the right block to track the ball down on the left block. Again, did not block out, didn't get a body on her, and keeps possession alive. Huntingdon now also in the bonus, something to watch. So both teams will shoot free throws on fouls.
Inbound entry to Magruder, wide open, layup good.
Completely lost her. Got to call a timeout. And Gabby just gets back in time to allow that ball to be inbounded. Emma Perna was screaming.
Stay calm with Melton with the great drive, lays it in. Lead back up to 4 again.
Melton did just that. Stayed calm, no travel that time. Put her head down, got all the way to the front of the rim for a lay-in.
Back to the man-to-man. Driving layup by foot, no good. Havica with the rebound. Oglethorpe's got to settle down, play like they have a lead. Melton realizes that, use the clock.
Coach Ritchie was about to come out of his loafers, screaming for them to slow down.
Hudson looking inside to Rivera. Rivera facing up, going against the smaller A.B. Davis. Beautiful turnaround left hand off the glass. 6-point lead Oglethorpe. 40 seconds left in the game.
I'll defend the 3-point shot without fouling.
Kinston Davis on the drive. Lays it up and in, and the blocking call on Melton. Melton was definitely in the restricted area there. Drew contact. chance for an and one. It's still a 4-point ball game. If she can make this free throw, it makes it a one-possession game with 33.6 seconds left.
Kamira Rivera on the previous possession with the spin through with the left. 26 points right now for Kamira.
Missed free throw, rebound by Rivera, timeout. Now, women's game, different from the men's college basketball game. If you don't try to advance the ball up the floor and you call a timeout, you get the ball in front of your bench on the timeline. So it allows you to advance the ball like they do in the NBA. Men's college basketball hasn't adopted that, but now the ball will be entered in the front court at the timeline.
Not to do sports talk radio, but I will anyway. I mentioned one of the rules I couldn't stand in college basketball the other day, the possession arrow. I am not a fan of the ball advancement. In the NBA, I think it takes away. You don't play a game all game long and then the last minute or two go, oh, wait a second, you can advance it to half court. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand why they do it. It makes it easier. It gives a better offensive game, better chance to hit buzzer beaters. But I think if you're playing 40 minutes of basketball where you've got to inbound it from underneath, I think all 40 minutes you should have to inbound it from underneath.
Well, the other thing it does allow you to do, especially when you have a really fast point guard like Hudson, is run her into the backcourt, make that pass. Now it's got to, you would have to, I would, if I were the coach, I'd like Perna. He's going to have Dolmovich. I like her as well. You can trust the passer like that. I think you're going to see that right here. Let her catch it and eat some clock and get fouled somewhere in the backcourt. Force them to foul in the backcourt.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to set a down screen for Gabby Hudson, who's going to sprint into the backcourt.
Now Rivera's a great free throw shooter, so they do go to her. Perna now with the ball. They're going to foul Perna. Perna came into the ball game shooting 79% from the free throw line, and she is 2 for 2 for this game. So 21 for 26 on the season.
And as you mentioned earlier, not a 1-and-1 scenario. This is 2 shots. 2 would put you, it's still a 2-possession game whether you make both. But at least if you make one, they would have to make a 3-point shot really to get back in this game.
Second free throw here, missed the first. Second free throw by Perna is nothing but net. It's a 5-point lead.
Huntington going to do the same thing, advance the ball,
advance it.
Take the timeout, down 5, 26.4 seconds to go on the clock. Oglethorpe has done a really good job here in the fourth quarter, weathering a storm. They've outscored Huntington 21-15. This is a game that they were down for a little bit and made a run. They were down 59-58. As a matter of fact, the biggest lead was 59-55. So down the stretch, you're talking about a 13-4 run over the last 3:29. It's been the pressure. It's been taking care of the ball, and Kamira Rivera just being gigantic, not only in size and stature, but in the stat column as well. I have a feeling if we can hold on to this win, we're going to have a chance to talk to the freshman.
Yeah, and the other huge advantage is Oglethorpe is a really good free throw shooting team. Dolmovich on the floor at 78%, Hudson at 75%, Rivera at 72 plus, so really good free throw shooting team. Entry pass thrown away, Hudson with the ball, and they are going to call her for a travel.
Well, she did travel. I'll give it, and she's limping a little bit. I think she landed hard on her left knee. She's up running around, but she did do the rollover. Sometimes they don't call that, but by the letter of the law, that is absolutely a travel.
Ball's entered to Deshauna Foote, who's got to hustle a little bit. You're down 2 possessions, 20 seconds left. Shoemake gives it to A.B. Davis, whose 3 is off the mark. Hudson with the rebound, trying to dribble it out, trying to find a teammate. She's fouled by Shoemake. 9.3 seconds left.
Step up and hit these 2, and it'll be a nice 2-0 start to the week for the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels. And if I'm Coach Ritchie, while he is going to have some people underneath potentially to rebound, I'd almost back off.
Hudson came in as a 75% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 for the ball game. 68-63. Looks like Charity Cloud's going to check into the game. Hudson's shot off the rim.
They're going to put Charity in for Gabby Hudson, it looks like.
Well, the other thing this does too is it lets you set up a press, but I'm sure Coach Huff will advance the ball if she has a timeout, and she does, and she is going to advance it. So 69-63, 9.3 seconds left. And what you have to do here is you've got to defend without fouling. Even if you give up a three, what you have to be careful of, and a fear here with a young team like this, is that you're too quick in entering the ball after a three. Make sure everybody's in place for a press attack. Sure, that's one of the things Coach Ritchie's talking about is if they were to make a shot, you're going to enter, you're going to go here, you're going to go there, and that'll help you not turn it over when you can ill afford a turnover. So Melton, Havica, Perna, Rivera, Hudson on the floor. Rivera at 6'1", on the ball, on the entry pass. Goes into foot. She's defending Kenton Davis. Rivera, A.B. Davis takes a three over Rivera. Loose ball in the paint. And the ball game, let's see if it's going to end. It is over.